See, I was gonna mock how the schematic was like so basic, but I appreciate that we're going everywhere and seeing everything. So I'm laughing now because everything he said is, this also used to be the officers' quarters. I feel like if you listen to Akita, 90% of the ship was officers' quarters. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with the third episode of Space Battleship Yamato. I feel like the first two episodes have set us up for what the premise of the show is, right? We saw the devastation being done to Earth, even though last episode, and well, I guess technically both episodes have done sort of a flashback thing where the narrator just tells us what's happening. But we also saw the destruction of the Earth Defense Fleet, the last ships that were not our our current captain's last ship, and everything. I guess we didn't technically see the fall of Mars, although I guess those are the only two guys on all of Mars. We got the message from the Iskandar? Iskandar, is that right? Well, from the princess of Iskandar, sent her sister. Sorry, again, I haven't done the board or the notes yet, and the fact that I've doing these 3 episodes in a row means episode 4 will have all of my thoughts there. This is more of a recap of and expectations segment. So, the fact that last episode we actually got Yamato into the air, I mean, essentially space, and we're about to do the wave motion engine. Either the wave motion engine's going to fail and we have a whole episode dealing with that, or this is just going to get us out there. The journey begins. Space Fuhrer. I don't know why we chose that, but the Space Fuhrer is going to try and stop us. Because it seems like they have a lot more information than it seems like they should. Like, they didn't just bomb us indiscriminately. They knew who we were before they got here, and that's what's going on. So, I don't know. Maybe their empire isn't alien. Maybe it is human, just space human. I don't know. That's maybe thoughts for later. But I feel like now moving forward, it's like if the last 2 episodes were like the Battlestar Galactica made for TV movie thing that came out back in the what was it, 80s, that this next episode would be the start of the Battlestar Galactica show. That from here on out, I anticipate is going to be whatever's going to happen rather than the setup for everything happening. That is just my anticipation. Obviously, the further back we go with anime, the more wrong I become because it's not following the tropes that I have grown up with, but I already had a whole conversation with you about that in a previous episode. Without the notes, the rambles just get shorter and less connected to one another. I apologize. It's just how my brain operates. I'll jump from one topic to the next and then forget whatever the previous topics were and have no connection to go back to what I was trying to figure out. That said, I hope the tone evens itself out, because I appreciate that you need to dampen the depression and the seriousness with bouts of levity. I get that. I do that in the reaction when I'm making jokes myself. But again, you can't just jump from... Look, what I'm trying to do here is that the death of humanity listened to over the radio is a very serious subject, and I don't think it was given the time to stew in the minds of the viewer before they jumped into slapstick humor. That's all I'm trying to indicate. If you've ever read or even listened to the audiobook World War Z, not the movie sucked. In the book World War Z, there is a group of people, I want to say in like the South Pacific, who are manning a worldwide communications network, keeping communications alive over the radio among everybody in the world to try and, help in the survival. during the zombie war there. And one of their things is very specifically listening to people begging for help or giving their final sign off knowing that they're going to die takes a massive psychological toll on these people. So much so that they have the massive suicide rate. There's a huge turnover of people manning these radios. And that's like the first thing my mind went to, because in World War Z, famously, there's like the final sign off of Buenos Aires as the entire city is overrun and everyone's dying. But they do like one last radio transmission of a famous singer singing a song before that city's wiped off the map. It's where my mind went there. It is very poignant, very gets you into thinking, gets you in the emotions. And then we had a robot sexually harass a woman. It's like, I don't know what to do with this. Anyway, I feel like I said some things there that are going to be retracted later, but let's go ahead and hop on in and see what episode 3 has for us.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Yamato takes off the 296,000 light years challenge. I appreciate that, because it does denote that they are thinking about it and considering a return journey. Because where I was talking about before, 148,000 light years. Okay, they're back into English translation. What I was saying was the time scale, that they're saying we have a year, and I was like, yeah, you have a year to get there and back. So maybe 6 months to get there, 6 months back. And that seems to be what they're counting, because they said 364 days left. But again, we don't know how long the cure for the radiation is going to take. So I guess we're just anticipating it's going to take instantaneously. But they're also counting it 148,000 light years one way and 148,000 light years back. So, I mean, like I said, I appreciate it when the show pays attention to details, because so often I come in with the expectation that the show is going to miss out on details, or it's going to be so narrative focused that it's going to ignore things in order to make the narrative work. And yeah, I know I'm pedantic, and I hate that I'm pedantic as much as you hate me being pedantic, but it's where the notes come from.
銀河系の外大マゼラン星雲より飛来した謎の宇宙艦隊ガミラス星人は冥王星に前線基地を置き地球を攻撃してきた。
Well, I didn't know that they established a base on Pluto, which makes sense why we sent the fleet there. Sorry, I had previously done math about where the Bosnians might have come from in Voltaire 5, and the Lesser Magellanic Cloud was a part of my discussion. I didn't think they were from there. It's just part of the discussion. Oh, they're neighbor planets. I didn't even realize that. We only really saw Gamulus last episode, so the fact that there was a planet next to Iskander, I didn't realize. イスカンダルにある放射能除去装置を取りに14万8000光年の旅に出ようとしていた。 Considering that we know there was a city or a dock specifically right under the Yamato, that whole place must be flooded with radiation right now, which would imply that either everyone from that city is now on the Yamato or is dead from radiation poisoning. Didn't even think about that last time. Oh, they even do the salute?
ヤマトを攻撃させていただきたいのです。
ミサイルの標的か。よかろう。やってみろ。
ありがとうございます。ですが相当。
Granted, they're not doing the full slanted version of the salute. This is more like a, hi, how you doing? I guess this is why they had to establish in the preamble that they had bases on Pluto. I also really like the fact that the communication is just, here's a stone version of my face. Talk at it when you're talking to me.
我々はいよいよ往復29万6000光年の旅をしてイスカンダルへ向かう。しかし我々は宇宙戦艦ヤマトを完成したと。
This place should be flooded with radiation. Everybody here should be dead. This ship.
我々の目標を攻撃してくる力を持っているが、我々地球人類は冥王星の基地以外はガミラスの攻撃。
This speech should be happening on the Yamato, not down here.
我々とガミラスとの間にはっきりとした力の差があるということだ。それでも我々は1年という限られた日数の中で生きて帰り地球を救わなければならない。しかしわしは諸君の安全の保証はできない。諸君に選択の機会を与える。抜けたい者は後進の間に抜けてくれ。わしはヤマトで待っている。以上。
I guess I just anticipated a sequence of events, which is to say that the Yamato was in the air and then it would take off. Not that they would go back and get off the ship. Okay. Again, I'm gonna be pedantic again. That very much looks like a rocket-propelled missile, which is gonna fly from Pluto to Earth. These people have months of ahead time. Daisuke. It's a familiar name. I don't mean from this show, I mean from other anime we've been watching. I mean, it very much feels like the opinions of people in Attack on Titan when that one group comes back into the city. Or SDF Macross, maybe? The citizens, I mean. Yeah, unless it has like a wave motion device, which we don't know what that looks like yet, I guess. That thing would take months to get to Earth. That's the, sorry, no, that's the engine bottom of the Yamato. I thought for a second that could have been the old Akita that came back here before. Not a bad salute. I don't know, I believe also the same one they do in Attack on Titan.
Jiro, 親父、おふくろよ、待っててくれ。きっと帰ってくるからな。
そんな安請け合いをしていいのか？
I mean, I get it. He's saying that because his brother's dead.
もちろん俺は全力を挙げて今度の計画に命を懸けるつもりさ。しかし、ヤマトが宇宙へ飛び出していったら、我々の運命はあの沖田艦長に握られてしまう。
The captain's name, Okita. I don't remember what the ship was called. I'm sorry. The one that came
確か
back.
にこれまではいろんな戦闘で功績を上げてきた人だ。しかし、その陰で死んでいった人もたくさんいるんだぞ。
Like my brother.
古代、俺は家族の見送りを受けてちょっと息になりすぎた。君の兄さん戦死してしまったんだもんな。
俺には沖田艦長の冷たさが気に入らないんだ。
古代君の下で戦闘隊を指揮する加藤です。
同じく砲術を補佐する南部です。
島君の下で通信を担当する相原です。
同じく操縦補佐の太田です。
よろしく。
I'm so used to anime characters acting just brashly and like out of turn, especially in 70s anime, that when I saw a guy walk up and do this move from behind, I expected a backhand. Like, how dare you talk about the captain that way?
それに必要なものなんだ。今ヤマトを成功させるために全世界から寄付が集まってる。古代、島、出発前に艦内の配備を説明しておこう。ついてこい。
はい。はい。
You'd think he'd have a second in command, because essentially this is just the targeting guy and the pilot.
艦内配置版スイッチオン。古代、君の指揮下に入る武器関係のコンピューター室だ。
I guess there's no drawback to having the floor be automated. When the floor fails, it just becomes more floor.
昔のヤマトでは司会室、兵員室のあったところが、今は艦首波動砲、ミサイルなどの発射台とその指令所になっている。
A wave motion gun, so it's not only the engine system. Oh, there we go. I said that was going to be a big giant laser before.
波動砲はヤマトの決め手になる武器だ。波動エンジンと同じく光を超えるスピードを持つ多気温粒子を使ってエネルギーを発射する。
There we go. Faster than speed of light, like I said it would have to be. Although I believe tachyons are still theoretical back in the 70s, and proven not to be faster than light in the modern day. So whatever. Yeah, I don't think you have to visualize what naval warfare was like back in the day, just to have a disparity between then and now. I think the disparity is looking out over a desert that used to be a sea, or rather an ocean. That's the real disparity. But it's in Japan. Well. I'll say this show is very well paced. Every time we get that fade in and out for commercial break, I'm like, has it been that much time already? And the only woman on board, thus the only person wearing a skin-tight bodysuit.
そんな時頭を冷やしてもらうとこじゃなま。佐渡先生ったらあのまま出発するつもりかしら。次にお見せするところはリゾートルームです。
The future was all bell bottoms, by the way.
そうです、皆さんご一緒にどうぞ。ここも元の控室と兵員室ですけど、今は皆さんの生活が地上と同じ状態でいられるようにと考えられたところですわ。
So Space Battleship Yamato created the holodeck. Because, I mean, this predates Star Trek The Next Generation. Because I don't believe the original series had holodecks.
ここのご自慢はこの万能工作機械です。例えば アストロバイクを作ろうとすると
I mean, essentially an old school 3D printer. See, I was gonna mock how the schematic was like so basic, but I appreciate we're going everywhere and seeing everything. Sorry, I'm laughing now because everything he said is this also used to be the officers' quarters. I feel like if you listen to Akita, 90% of the ship was officers' quarters.
波動エンジンどんなものなんですか
一口に言うのは難しいが宇宙エネルギーを圧縮して光より速い多気温粒子に直しそのエネルギーを動力として航行するんじゃこのエンジンなら光よりも速く時間よりも速く航行することができる
I'm pretty sure that wouldn't actually work. Granted, I have long since stopped reading my science books, but...
徳川さん
The more mass that you have, the more energy it takes to travel faster, and the faster you go, the more mass you obtain.
本当のことを教えていただきたいんです。沖田艦長ってどんな人です？
古代どうしたんだ変だぞお前
兄さんの一人も救えなかった人が地球の危機を救えると思いますか？
Also, not for nothing, tachyons pass through normal matter without affecting it. We're being bombarded by tachyons all the time. So as a cannon would be pretty useless.
あの人は万に一つでも可能性を発見したらそれを信じて沈着冷静に行動する人だ。それが男というもんじゃよ。
I don't know that's how you want your captain to be. But he also does kind of have the backstory of the captain from Nadia. Just instead of a son, a daughter. So it wasn't 100% wrong, I guess, in that comparison.
古代さんたった今地球司令本部からの連絡で超大型ミサイルが本艦に接近中とのことです
大変だすぐに艦長を呼ばなきゃ
The thing is, it only seems to be moving really slow. It has literally been moving from Pluto to here in like 50 minutes. That is incredibly fast. Oh, you dropped the picture of your dead family.
よし、わかった。いや、古代。はい。まあいい。
補助エンジン準備完了。メインエンジン接近完了。エネルギー注入 100% 完了。
So I guess that does imply that that is his daughter. The one that we saw. Because I doubt that's supposed to be his wife.
波動エンジンの始動は一発でしなければならない。万一失敗したら取り返しがつかなくなるんだぞ。艦長、
Didn't you activate it last episode?
飛ばされてしまいます。いいんですか？
古代、エンジンがかからなければ全ての武器が使えんことがわからんのか。徳川君、目いっぱい注入するんだ。はい。
地球司令部より入電。ヤマトはまだかと言ってきています。
待てと伝えろ。
Again, from perspective, it only seems to be moving slow. It's actually going really fast.
あと10分しかないぞ。ヤマトはまだ始動しないのか。まだ連絡が入りません。エ
ネルギー 120%。島、補助エンジンスタート。はい。補助エンジンスタート。エンジン出力100、200、300、600、1200、2000、2500、2900、3000。波動エンジン回路接続。
I mean, we gave him 10 minutes. That's plenty of time to fail once and try again, I guess.
艦長、動きません。もう一度点検せよ。はい。補助エンジンスタート。艦長、申し訳ありません。連動スイッチがオフになっていました。しっかりしろよ。
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I thought we were going to rush down and repair something. Maybe we will.
動かないじゃないか。
黙れ。
I mean, at least we're not resorting to, like, hitting it. Oh, what's that? Okay, just a slow kick in right. I got it. They're really pushing the suspense angle here on the startup.
やった。
動いたぞ。波動エンジン始動。接続。接続。 地球へあと5分で到達します。
Still enough time to point the wave motion cannon at it and fire.
発進準備。不法発射準備。
飛行発射準備。
ヤマト発進。ヤマト発進します。
A lot of mechanical parts in their seats. Would love a gaming chair like that. Not that I need a gaming chair, but you know, just a something other than this, I guess. I don't know.
右15度転換。右15度転換。
I actually expected they were going to hit it with the wave motion cannon, not their normal.
目標ヤマトの軸線に乗りました。
発射。
発射。
Also, again, there was a city right under them. But again, I'm discounting those people of all dying of radiation sickness because they've been open to the environment. Is this thing just heavily armored, or does it have a shielding of some sort? I guess we'll see when they get into an actual combat with another ship. It's really hard to make out in a giant explosion like that. I do like the wings. The wings are cool. Also, I guess, what, 363 days left? Do enjoy the soundtrack.
それを信じて沈着冷静に行動する男だ。それが男というものじゃよ。
Again, I don't dislike the captain. I really do like the captain. I just don't think that fits for all situations.
宇宙戦艦ヤマトは立ち上がった。往復29万6000光年という前人未到の旅へ飛び立った。人類の未来をかけて宇宙戦艦ヤマトはイスカンダルを目指していく。しかし残された時間は限られているのだ。
Yep, there we go. I was right.
地球の運命はあと363日。
Now, granted, I am going to do my best to ignore any giant pop-up notes that I see while I'm talking. Now, granted, that's on the 363 days left until all life is dead on Earth. We were already hearing how other places I can see there's pop-up messages that they open up. I can, God damn, it's very distracting. We have already heard how other cities have gone quiet, right? And how other ones are giving their goodbyes, like right now. It is entirely possible that the population of Earth is a number that is ticking down the longer we take. Like, if we take 150 days, then half the planet's population could be dead already by the time we get back. Or that we could cure the radiation problem, but there'll be no one left but the population of the crew of the Yamato left to enjoy it by the time we get back, right? So, I think that's a thing to take into consideration. I hope the show does, but then again, I got on the fact that the show was defeating my pedancy by taking into consideration all these facts. And then all of a sudden, we went back down to the surface into a place that we fully exposed to the surface radiation. Like, the idea that the radiation is so bad that it is penetrating 1 kilometer deep, that then we went to the surface and we saw the top of Yamato on the surface, but then the engine we saw poking out from the bottom within the city. Either the Yamato is 1 kilometer tall, or that place is being bathed in so much more radiation than anywhere else. And again, not for nothing, once that thing takes off, there's this giant hole to the surface where it was sitting that is now just exposing everyone to radiation. I'm sure you could make up excuses, but all I ever do is I take into account what I saw on the screen. And on the screen, there should now be a giant hole where that thing was. Meaning all these people are irradiated. If not for curing the Earth, then they need to rush to Iskander in a year to make sure that they don't all die of radiation poisoning. That is the pedancy that is currently in my mind. Other than that, though, I enjoyed the episode for layout and character introduction. So when I do the board, sorry, child humor. When I go and do the board, this will be the episode that'll be real good for determining what people's ranks are, what their positions on the ship are, getting their names and all that. I appreciate it also. Again, I was going to make fun of it, how simplistic the schematic on the sideways view of the ship was. But then we went to each place, and the captain told us what it did. And it's like, maybe it doesn't make sense for just these two specific guys to get the rundown on the ship, but maybe everybody else had already gotten the rundown. So for us as the viewer, that was a really good addition, and I appreciated it. And I just thought it was funny that he goes to a bunch of these really large areas and said, this used to be the officers' quarters or whatever. And it's like, most of this ship was officers' quarters, it turns out. Again, it very much feels like Battlestar Galactica ripped off Space Battleship Yamato pretty hard. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's so many elements of this that just feel like that. Like our main two guys that are now piloting and doing the targeting are clearly Starbuck and Apollo. Our captain is the captain, of course, right down to dead son and living kid. I don't know. There's just so many elements here that just scream Battlestar Galactica, and most people are going to be hearing like my first episode, second episode stuff, and be like, this came out first. And it's like, yes, I know, that's what I'm saying. This came out first. I feel like a ripoff was done here, but then again, one is an American thing, and another one is Japanese. Did one know about the other, or are these just all happy coincidence? I don't know. Other than that, though, I don't think there's nothing else here, because again, this is a lot of introduction episode stuff. I thought we were going to be moving on, so I very much did not anticipate that we just turned around and landed, especially with the time being a countdown that we're keeping track of. I didn't think we'd waste a day just coming back, but it is what it is. I anticipate that we're going to be on our way to Pluto to take care of that base first, and then, on the way out, because they launched a massive missile at Earth, meaning that they're going to keep attacking Earth while we're gone, and the entire Earth Defense Force is gone. The ship that Okita was piloting, or not captaining, is scrap as far as I can tell. And I don't think that one ship is going to be able to withstand their entire, was it Gamulus? I'm going to say Gamulus for now until I come back. Attack fleet that's still out there and able to do whatever it wants. So I feel like they have to secure the solar system on their way out to ensure that they have an Earth to come back to. Otherwise, they're going to get to Iskander, come back, and no one's going to be left anyway. You can't make your mission pointless before you even start, is my feeling on that. That said, I guess this is going to be the shortest one yet, because I don't have a lot to work with here, and my thoughts are basically all spelled out across the first two. So, yeah. I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?